Today we're discussing so many different topics, and mine is about the impact of digitalization on the accounting function. So it is more about digitalization and actually accounting and accounting function itself. First of all, I guess everybody will agree that we're living in the time of great changes. So everything is improving, everything is developing and developing very intensively. Digitalization has been identified as one of the most significant technological trends that is changing both society and business. It is one of the most significant ongoing transformation to contemporary society that encompasses many elements of business as well as everyday life. Digitalization refers both to transformation from analog to digital, for example, when we're talking about a shift from cash to electronic payments, and to the facilitation of new forms of value creation like accessibility, availability, transparency, etc. The accounting function itself, as well as the profession of the accountant, has changed significantly over a very short period of time. So just in few decades, if to think about it, a lot of tasks, I would say even almost all the tasks, that usually were done on paper by hand or in any ways like this, so currently are digitized on computers. And the changes, they do not stop at this point. And nowadays, there is a wide range of new digital technologies that impact the accounting function. For example, automation, artificial intelligence, cloud software computing, etc. So it is considered to be a global mega trend, and therefore digitalization disrupts the field of accounting. It constantly shapes the industry practices, etc. No doubt that the accounting function has a pivotal role to play in ensuring that business information is sound and that business decisions are in step with wider societal values. They can help to build some, let's say, consensus around artificial intelligence industry standards for design, as well as auditing and transparency. Also here, we may talk about identifying techniques to increase public trust, right, in these new technologies. One of the examples of the digitalization impact on accounting function might be a possible usage of such called RPA, which is robotic process automation, which refers to the automatic execution by a machine, usually a computer, of a task that was previously performed by a human being, by people. RPA is an alternative to traditional process automation, which refers to software called robot that performs the repetitive work previously done by people. So here, the robot actually mimics human activities. The robot interacts with the applications on the computer and performs rule-based tasks. Here, the biggest difference between RPA and automation is that robot software can interact with other applications. So exactly the way as people would do, whereas in automation, the machine is programmed to do repetitive tasks, but not to interact with other applications. There are some advantages, of course, of RPA over traditional automation, which are the fact that it is cheaper. First of all, it is quicker, easier, and it is more convenient to implement it for employees and to integrate it for them. Software robots, what they're doing, they can log in actually with their own identifiers. They can find invoices from suppliers, compare them with the orders, request and await approvals, perform accounting data entry and other internal systems, and finally release payment at the same time as they record discounts and transfers. Also, an example of a practical application of automation in accounting is the machines that can add new suppliers to the system without human intervention at all. They can also read receipts, they can check expenses, and they can also alert people when there is any kind of violation or error. Talking about advantages and disadvantages. So on one hand, this digitalization makes the workflow much efficient, fast, and progressive. So no doubt here. But on the other hand, some of the forecasts are not so optimistic. Here's the example. In 2015, the UK media widely picked up on American media organization NPR's calculator that could predict which jobs are susceptible to computerization. This calculator, using research by the University of Oxford, stated that accountants, right, as a profession, they have 95% of chance to lose their jobs, actually because of the digitalization, because there are some machines that can take over the number crunching and data analysis and so far. And also there are some scholars that presented some, let's say, threatening images of how the accounting function could be ruled over by automation and etc. Another negative impact of digitalization on the accounting function lies in a direct dependence on electricity, on computer, and on the internet availability. So unfortunately, there are numerous different unpredictable conditions, right? Some circumstances when it is simply impossible to have access to internet or to work with the laptop. Therefore, it is worth considering such advanced option of digitalization, which also involves an easy transition to abandoning it. So, by the way, the example of the dependence, right, of digital and internet connection is actually the current situation in Kiev. So, for example, today, for me to be able to join the conference, I had to borrow the generator from my neighbors, frankly speaking, just to be able to produce some electricity, to have internet, and to have the laptop charged. So, talking about pros and cons, there are some positive aspects as well. So digitalization, which comes along with automation, is usually believed to bring huge opportunities to accountants, and I do believe so as well. So first and foremost, scholars argue that automation of tasks allows accountants not to waste their time on repetitive actions, let's say on boring part of the work, because it can be easily performed by the software, which is good. Machines also perform the routine tasks much faster than humans, and they can do work around the clock, so 24/7. The time required to prepare accounting documents and for reporting is therefore shortened very much. Productivity the productivity itself here in this case is actually supposed to be higher because the cost for the firm is lower. Also, it allows customers to pay less money, etc. So in addition, the machines generally make less mistakes than humans do. This is the fact. And thus, the automation of accounting thus has been reported to result in a better data quality, as well as data relevance and data consistency. Also, automation would have a positive impact on employees because they could focus on more engaging tasks, let's say on more interesting, more, let's say, analytical, or maybe some consultancy tasks, etc. And also, some scholars argued that digitalization influenced the profession itself as well. So, if, let's say, one prediction says that maybe there is 95% chance of accountants to lose their job, the positive aspect says that it is not about losing job. This is about the transformation a bit of the responsibilities, because there is an impact, right, of the process and on accountants, and they will be able to focus much more on value of some, as I mentioned, consulting tasks, right? For example, consulting in company management, as well as asset management, risk management, let's say external growth strategy, financing, etc. And the profession, due to digitalization of accounting function, will transform from bookkeeping and accountant advisors, consultants, and accountants, engineers. So thank you very much for your attention. that was my briefly about the topic as per impact of digitalization on the accounting function. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we're really glad that you can join us, no matter what. And actually, the one of the undoubted pros of digitalization that today we have, like, together Canada and Ukraine on this conference. Yeah, so, any questions?
Thank you.
Yeah, may I ask a question?
Sure.
Yeah. So thank you very much for interesting presentation, very deep and interesting analysis. I know that the digitalization nowadays rather often mean that maybe in future some profession will not exist because digitalization can include so many different actions. So what do you think about accounting? Can be some machine or maybe some like artificial intelligence exists or create that it switch all accounting activities. What do you think about that?
Yeah, thank you for your question. So actually, I guess we're living on the time when we can believe in lots of things. So everything is possible. My personal view and opinion is that I do believe that robots and artificial intelligence still cannot replace people. So therefore, I believe that probably the profession will not be, let's say, dismissed, and the robot's gonna do accountant stuff. But I do believe that maybe the profession will be transformed somehow. So therefore, it would be great if the, let's say, robots, if the software, RPA can do really some repetitive work, something very routine, right? Some calculations. And people, let's say, would be able to perform some more analytical, right, part of work, and they will be able to work as consultant, they will be able to analyze. So actually, it would be great if the robots will replace this, let's say, boring part of work, but people will be able to be involved in more interesting, more deep analytical work. So this is what I believe in.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your optimistic view on this world. Thank you. So